What's up, guys? This is Ken B. We have a lot to talk about, obviously. We need to go over day 1 and 2 of testing the algorithm to see if it actually does or does exist. Again, as far as what I know, I'm just the guy trying to gather the data. You guys can argue in the comment section about whether or not it exists or not. It's probably entertainment for everyone. But I'm just going to go over the data based on what we were able to do and then what I did the following day to actually test again. So, starting with the first team that we used on day 1, this was on Go Battle League day. So this is going to be an isolated event because basically it's going to be just 2 days because we're going to be shifting to the Love Cup starting to today at the time of this recording. So we're going to have the Love Cup. We're going to be running the entire time, no Master League, so that for this week, so that way we can keep the data kind of the same as far as being able to have like as non-biased as possible, because again, we can't really gather data by switching from Love Cup to Master Cup and saying, oh, that's completely biased or whatever. So anyway, let's focus on what we have here for these 2 days of data sets and what I did and why. So for day 1, Go Battle League day, I had Gengar, Walrein, and Shadow Snorlax from my team. And then as far as what you can see, as far as each team setup, just go to the Discord channel. I have the chicken scratch of what I have and each team and what I won and lost as I went. I'm just going to go over the general data sets and the top talking points. So 59.6 win ratio. The top 5 leads that we came across were Swampert, we encountered that 6 times. Scavalier, we encountered 4 times as a lead. Sylveon, we encountered 4 times. Crobat, Walrein, Trevenant, and Machamp all tied for 3. And then as far as the Pokemon that were most used in the meta, we encountered Walrein 16 times on the team. That's about 10% of all the Pokemon that we used for the data set. 10% of that were Walrein. 13 times we encountered Swampert. Gallade we encountered 9 times, Crobat 8 times, and then Escavalier, Machamp, and Sylveon we all encountered 7 times. That was a 3-way tie for 5th place. And then as far as the leads that we encountered, what were considered neutral matchups where we could beat each other in a neutral scenario. And then for favorite encounters, it's where pretty much if I stayed in, I was going to win hands down. I hard countered their lead. That was about 29% for 15 out of 52. Countered, how many times did they hard counter my lead so that I had to switch, otherwise I was going to pretty much sacrifice a Pokemon for the sake of switch advantage. That was 14 times. That's 27%. So those are kind of like outlier numbers. Nothing that we can really pinpoint. Oh, XYO's up. Sorry, looking at that. Anyway, 11%. And then as far as teams that hard countered me, as in like there was nothing that I could do, I just had to pretty much sit there and take the loss and try to win, but you know, everything they switched to would beat me. 11% of the teams were hard counters. That's 11. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. That was day 1. Now let's move on to day 2. So my intention for day 2 was to build a team around, we're just pretty much going over the top Pokemon that were dominating the meta. And again, don't focus on the video quality and all that stuff. Like, this is, I'm in my car, I'm just rough scratching this. I'm just giving you the information. We're not trying to go for awesome presentation here. Anyway, day 2. So we were discussing on Discord what type of team I could use to actually counter yesterday's top leads. We wanted to see if we can bring down the control that we wanted to do was that we wanted to see if we can test to bring down the amount of Swamperts that we saw in the meta, and then also counter the top Pokemon. And by doing that, you'd be surprised at what we were able to find. There's a little bit of information that we can actually do. So let's actually look at this. Starting with the first set, I went 5-0. Second, starting at 2169, my rating shot up to 2242. Set 2, I went 2-3, brought my rating down to 2228. Set 3, I went 2-3 again, went down to 2215. And then the last set, I went 4-1, and then my rating went up to 2259. The team that I use is Gallade, Ampharos, and Crobat. I used that team because, again, we wanted to make sure that we had Gallade in the front to dissuade the top lead from yesterday, which was Swampert. If we had Gallade in the front, then we predicted that the amount of Swampert leads would plummet. So, now that we did that, let's actually look at that. Not only that, Gallade would be able to have an somewhat even matchup against Walrein, but I would still have to switch out to protect myself against it if they didn't switch out. So anyway, again, with this one, I'm going to take a picture. I already will take a picture of this information and put it onto Discord. I'll make a separate research page and go from there. But let's go ahead and go into this. So, the top leads that we went up against, it was basically Gallade 4 times. This was 20 battles because this is all the time that I had. I was busy working. Top leads, Gallade we encountered 4 times. Machamp we encountered 3 times. Trevenant we encountered twice. So those were the top 3 leads. The rest were all just random, all random encounters, including Swampert. We didn't see any. We only saw 1 Swampert. So even if you scale this up to a 52 battle data set by calculating 52 divided by 20, which would be, I don't feel like mathing right now. Basically, that means that the amount of Swamperts that we encountered would have been cut by 2/3. Because again, I did the math on this one too. The amount of Swampers that we saw overall were 2. We only saw 2 Swamperts. And so we were able to, so by doing that and multiplying 2, and then pretty much by taking 52 divided by 20, and then multiplying that number by 2, I was able to calculate that if we did all 52 battles, we were able to see that there would be 4.7 Swamperts that we went up against. Of course, we didn't do all 52 battles, all 50 battles, because I didn't have time to actually do the battles, because again, life calls. Anyway, back to, and now let's go over the win ratio. With 5, 7, 9, 13. So I went 13-7 with a 65% win ratio. As far as the leads that I encountered, because it was Gallade, that's a neutral. We went up against a lot of Pokemon that was favored towards me. In fact, leads that were favored towards me went up to 45% today, going by building a team that was based on the data of Pokemon that we faced the day before. So I went from having a 29% favored matchup to a 45%. That's a significant jump as far as having an easy time with encounters. And then as far as the neutrals, 7 encounters for 35% countered. Teams that countered my lead, 4, 20%. And now for the hard counters. I only had 2 hard counters. So again, that's 10%. So that seems to be a common number that's showing up as far as what the matches I encounter that are that are hard counters. Still floating around 10%. Yesterday was 11%. And again, so what can I conclude? What can I conclude from these 2 data points is that the Swampert that we were able to decrease the amount of Swamperts that we encountered by putting Gallade in the front, by using that as like the control, looking at 1 Pokemon. You guys can look at all this information on my Discord and make your own decision. I'm just letting you know what we were looking for, what we tried to do. The control that we wanted was to pick Swampert, and we picked to bring it down by switching the lead. By doing that, we were able to cut the amount of Swamperts that we saw in one battle from in battles from 13 to 2. And again, if you were to scale that up, that would be from 13 to 4.7 Swamperts. If I did all 50 battles, we would be able to do that. But now that we would be able to test better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all the information that I have. Again, if you want to look at all the chicken scratch that I have on here, it's all, I just write it out because that's just how I do it. I like to write it out, even though people like to use computers. I am a little bit of both. And yep, if you enjoy this information and you want to look at it, just again, contact me. I'll send it to you through email. You can go to the Discord and look at it there. I'll start setting up a specific spot. If you enjoyed this information, you want to keep seeing more, please leave a like, subscribe, and then hit that notification bell to stay up to date. And then keep up and stay informed with the YouTube shorts that we also upload for like your entertainment, just to see my favorite battles I look at and say, I'm gonna clip that. I'm gonna put that up for people to watch. And as far as today's referral link, if you want to help support the channel by clicking on the referral links in the bottom. The main one that I want to suggest is that you look at the coin app. I run that with Pokemon Go, so basically I just earn coin by just like running that on a separate phone and then or a separate device and have it like do this thing called proof of location consensus. It earns the coin basically by working as like a Pokemon Go game. It's like a Pokemon Go game where you, instead of catching Pokemon, you earn coin. And then you switch that for like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or its native cryptocurrency, which is the XYO coin. I love it. It's actually done very well for me last year. So if you want to make some extra money while playing Pokemon Go, I would say run that with it. Click on the referral link so that I get credit as well. And not sponsored. But yeah, thanks again for watching, everybody. And we'll see you in the next update. I'll do these updates every other day.